Dun, 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 dun. We good? Hello! It's a good day to have a good day. Kentucky set to take on the Louisville Cardinals. The Battle of the Bluegrass, Mark Pope's first against Pat Kelsey, the start of a new era of this rivalry. Before we get into all of the fun, Monticello Bank is our game sponsor. We're very excited for Monticello Bank. Shout out Monticello Bank. Learn more at mbcbank.com. Zach, I know you're a big fan of Monticello Bank, and I know you're a big fan of what we're about to see inside Rupp Arena.
Yes, Steven, I didn't test my mic before, but I assume I'm all good?
Yeah, you're good.
Am I good? Okay.
Hey!
Oh, we got some fans walking by. Hopefully they don't know where I live.
I hope they do.
Yeah, so what'd you ask me? Monticello Bank. Shout out to them, first of all. What'd you ask?
I know you're feeling good about Monticello Bank, and I know you're feeling good about what you're about to see at Rupp Arena.
Nice ad transition. I like that. Yes, I'm very excited today for this game. We've talked about it every time I'm on camera now. I talk about how much I am excited for this one. Battle of the Bluegrass, first edition with Mark Pope and Pat Kelsey running the show on either side. Kentucky is still a 10-point-ish favorite kind of going into this game. Jack will talk more about Lamont Butler and his situation here in a second, but Kentucky should win this game regardless of what happens with Lamont Butler. They'll be the better team. They'll have the advantage of pretty much every position, maybe besides point guard, even if Lamont is playing, because I think Chucky Hepburn is that good. But, yeah, we talked about it endlessly on Sources Say yesterday. Louisville can't shoot the ball, but they shoot a lot of them. They score inside, but they never score. They never go inside. They're just a really weird team. They give up a lot of threes. I think they don't turn the ball over or something like that, but they force a lot of turnovers, one of those things. So they're kind of a one or the other type team, and Kentucky should have a field day out there today. But the crowd is, I think, what we're all excited for today. How it all feels and the energy. It's actually really warm out today. It's like 56 right now.
It feels beautiful outside.
It does.
It's in the air. You know, you can just kind of feel it. Driving into Lexington, the traffic was, not bad, but clearly more than usual. And there's just an excitement in the air, and it's because it's blue versus red. Good versus evil. All that is good in the world versus all that is bad in the world.
Three goggles versus L's down,
and that's what we love.
Or L's up, I guess.
That's what we're excited for. Let's talk.
Let's gab. Let's yap.
It's
schoolyard
tricky.
talk.
It's very tricky because depending on who you talk to and how you talk to them and when you talk to them, you've heard very, very differing opinions on Lamont's status for today.
Like Mark Pope in one sentence.
It really was, and we talked about this on
two
Sources
sentences.
Say, but the gamesmanship is just so immaculate. Here's the situation. If it were up to Lamont Butler, he would play.
Okay.
Point blank, period.
Is Lamont a doctor, unfortunately?
He is not.
No, he's not.
And the staff is admittedly, concerned about the lack of depth at point guard, knowing that Kirk Reese has a whole broken foot. Like, it's not something that's going to magically repair in a day or a couple of days or a week or two. It's something that, you
never know.
You just can't avoid.
Don't count on miracles.
And Lamont Butler had a lingering ankle issue last season at San Diego State. And it's one of those deals where it's like,
almost had our first wipeout.
Do you want to take this game and what it means? We just saw all the former UK basketball legends explain the magnitude of this game and what it means. Do you want to take that away from him?
Yeah, especially after he read that Darius Miller line. That was pretty good. Because
of a chance that he could re-aggravate it and have it turn into a lingering issue throughout the season when they desperately need him in SEC play and all those things. So I think it's something that's really weighing on the staff. I think it's weighing on the Butlers and trying to figure out, hey, do you play him or do you not?
Yeah.
I will say, he was a participant today at shoot-around.
Ooh.
Looked pretty darn good.
Okay.
Felt pretty darn good.
If you don't practice, you don't play.
Right,
Remember?
And he did, in fact, practice. So I am excited to see what we're going to walk into when we get into Rupp Arena, because I have not gotten a definitive answer one way or the other. I've gotten hunches of, hey, based on what I have seen of Lamont, here's what my guess. And I have heard some people say Yeah, I don't think I don't think he's going to be able to give it a go. And I've heard other people say he looks like a dude who's preparing himself to play. So, what do you think is going to happen?
What do I think? Well, I think it just you kind of have to weigh in the factors of is it worth the risk? Like, as we were mentioned off camera before we started walking, Kentucky has a 7-day break coming up after this, 10-day break coming up after that.
With Ohio State ahead.
With a bad Ohio State team.
Dog-walked.
Just got absolutely destroyed by a good Auburn, a very good Auburn team.
Auburn basketball team.
But, so, you can kind of look at it both ways. Do you take the next 17 days of playing 2 games and just let Lamont rest the whole time? Or do you kind of let him go at this game, and let's say you do have a very minor setback. You have a over 2 week cushion kind of built in before SEC play.
And after that, it's Brown
and
on the 31st.
It is so Brown, true.
If you really want to get crazy,
you can even extend that to 20 days.
Play him 15, 20 minutes in this one.
Yeah.
And then say, hey, you get a freaking month off, bro.
Exactly.
Just take as much time as you need, and we will happily take you back whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so I think it'll come down to the risk factor of if you play him out there and you think there's a big enough risk that he injures himself to the point where he would miss more than a month, then go Cats. We love it. Then you have to probably sit him, But like we were kind of mentioned at the beginning, it really shouldn't matter with this one. I think regardless of whether or not Lamont plays, Louisville's probably going to have the advantage at point guard there because of how effective Chucky is on both ends. I think the reason you'd really want Lamont in this one is for penetration, driving, kick stuff. I was reading Brandon Ramsey's scouting report, and he was talking about how Louisville does a good job of playing passing lanes, but when they gamble a lot, they crash a lot inside, so they leave open a lot of wide-open three-point shooters. Kentucky has the best wide-open three-point shooter in the country. I imagine Kobe Ray will get a bunch of decent looks tonight, but you can't really generate those looks without someone like Lamont Butler penetrating and getting himself into a position to kick out. We've seen Jackson do a little bit of it. Ortega can do that too, but Kerr was the guy that you would really trust to come in and bring some of that skill as well. You don't have him. I don't think we can really trust Travis Perry to be that type of guy, but I think we're going to see him if Lamont, in the event that, honestly, even if Lamont does go, I think there's probably a chance you still see Travis Perry just because Lamont's probably going to end up playing, like you said, 20 minutes at the most, I think. But it also boils down to you maybe not need your point guard because of how Kentucky runs its offense. You're going to want him mostly, Lamont, for driving and kicking and then playing a little bit of defense on Chucky. But I think Kentucky will find ways to make up for all that production or lack of production or whatever you want to phrase it elsewhere. So ultimately, it really doesn't matter what happens with Lamont because Kentucky will have the advantage in nearly every area.
There's a lot of talk about Noah Waterman and Ali Khalifa.
Yes.
Just kind of the reuniting of those guys. Mark Pope said that he kind of owes his career and him getting the Kentucky job to Noah Waterman, who...
He's a 6-year guy. I didn't realize that. He's been around for a long time.
Doing his damnedest to, be the best inside spy. If Kenny Payne tore down the Louisville basketball program as a coach... He's doing his best as a basketball player because he's shooting like 26% from three.
He's a starter, I believe.
Struggling as one of the main kind of catalysts of their offense.
But you could also say that about every player on their team aside from Smith. You could argue that they're all tanking from the inside out because they're all terrible three-point shooters right now.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of padding his stats in the worst way. So shout out Noah Waterman. He is our inside spy for Mark Pope. So we got a weird KSR shout out in the press conference.
Yeah, that was
Mark Pope talking about us bugging his phone.
I kind of have a theory about that. Is that I think that might just be the only media outlet that he really knows by name. So that's why we get the name drop right now. And a lot of that is just early, and we've done features and stuff with him. Both. Definitely both. It was odd to kind of hear him just drop that randomly, but we'll take the shout outs. It's easy. We'll brag on ourselves even if it's not justified. It's fine. We can do that.
What does the meaning of this game? Just in terms of where we are in the schedule. Going into game 11.
Game 11 already.
How bad do you need this one to keep the momentum? We know that Louisville isn't the best. We know that they're absolutely destroyed, decimated by injury.
Yeah.
Is this must-win territory for Mark Pope, whatever that means? I still don't think that's even like a real phrase.
I wouldn't say must-win.
But just what is the magnitude of this
But
one?
You're getting close to it because, we saw the takes at the halftime of the Gonzaga game. And that was Gonzaga. So imagine what'll happen if things go bad. And that's the thing is, if UK loses this game, it means they looked bad. So there's going to be a lot of haters that come out and try and poo-poo on Pope and the team and what they're building. So that's really, in terms of close to must-win, that's the main reason, because the PR hit will be, it'll be rough on the Twitters and the X's and whatnot. So it's about as close to a must-win as you can. This is probably the first, hey, let's, the Duke win was nice, but I think a lot of fans were still kind of expecting to maybe potentially lose that one. Same with Gonzaga. Clemson people didn't really have an opinion too much one way or the other, because you never play Clemson. So, but with Louisville, this is the one that you have to win, and I think you're about a 95% to must win as you can get, and there will be a lot of pressure or some heat if they lose this game, because then you pretty much have to win against Ohio State after that.
I agree. And I think there's something to be said as well that this is the first true road game for Louisville.
For Louisville. This is no 2,000 people gym in the Bahamas. This is a real basketball arena.
Their only experience, and again, their home games consisted of Pat Kelsey going around campus begging students to show up. You got UPS buying thousands of tickets.
Students showed up.
Buying thousands of tickets to give away. You had Planet Fitness. If you were a Planet Fitness subscriber, you got the chance to go to the UK or the U of L Tennessee game for free. So the vibe of the games, having to prod and pry and beg fans to show up at U of L versus what we have seen the first month plus of the season for Kentucky is just night and day. I mean, the crowd that we've seen is unbelievable. I can't believe that on a random midweek night that against Colgate that it's 95% full. So what we're going to experience, as you can see,
it's going to be 100. This is the busiest it's been on our pregame walk.
It's going to be
absolutely
rocking. How does Louisville respond to that when it's its own island of misfit toys, to take a phrase from Ryan Lemon on KSR? Very similar vibe to them. As I said on the show yesterday, they're like a less talented, worse shooting version of Kentucky with similar style of play, similar offense. But they also haven't gotten to experience this. How do they respond in that way?
I think it'll end up being, I think they'll settle in quickly, because we've kind of mentioned how they have a lot of veteran guys too who have maybe not played exactly in this type of scenario, but have played in big settings before. They've played in rivalry games. You had the Edwards kid come out and say that this is why he committed Kentucky to Louisville. I
still can't believe he said that.
Was to play Kentucky. So we'll see pretty quickly if he was actually just kind of talk, or if he's legit about that and he wants to. Oh, we got some L's down. Give us some L's up.
Well, how do you feel about going into this one?
We're not expecting much, but as long as it's close, we'll be happy.
Okay, I like that. You got a score prediction?
No, unfortunately not. That's right.
What is the vibe?
Anybody be smeared?
That's right.
What is the vibe of the program right now with Pat Kelsey? Just the fresh start that he's given. Obviously, the injuries have been an issue for Louisville, but what is the vibe around the Louisville program right now?
We are on the up. We saw it in football, but we've had a lot of bad years, and I think it's healthy for this rivalry to have good competitive teams. So we're just all excited. We're not expecting anything much out of this team right now, but we're here to have fun and here to cheer on our team. That's right.
Who's your favorite player on Louisville? And Kentucky, if you want to give one.
I like Hepburn. He's fun to watch. He's got that cool hair, so I like him. He's electric. But
do you have a favorite player? No. You're just here for a good time?
That's right.
Here for a good game.
We wish you nothing but the best. Obviously, I hope you go home sad, but I hope you have fun while you're sad, if that makes any sense.
Enjoy Rupp.
Well, that means a lot. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I hope that.
Good.
I hope when the excitement of the game kind of builds up that stays. I hope your experience stays, but I hope you have a lovely experience at Rupp Arena, but unfortunately I just hope it ends in a loss for you guys.
Of course.
Go Cats.
We got some more.
How we feeling?
We got a nice fan over here.
I like the
all right, guys.
dead Cardinal. Feels good.
Liking your show. I just wanted to add, there's a whole lot of negative energy towards Louisville. I just want to kind of, kind of.
We're being a lot of nice right now.
Yeah. I mean, I am always really nice. I mean, you see, I've got a cardinal on my shirt today.
A dead cardinal.
So, I'm being very nice to him. So, a lot of positive energy. But today,
He could have put him in a shoebox and buried it out back, but he put it on his shirt. So we appreciate that.
That's right. And when you insult Louisville fans intelligently, it's super easy to do. So, just when you say, "Well, I like the Cardinals. I've got them on my shirt." See, they'll say, "Oh yeah, thanks. We like you too."
I love that.
What's the vibe of the game? How you feeling? What's the energy? Do you think we're going to do what the spread suggests? We're 10.5 point spread right now.
Easy, 20-point win today.
Oh.
Yeah, they're down players, so it's going to be a super easy win for us. But
MVP pick.
Show up.
MVP pick
today. Is Lamont Butler playing?
Great question.
That's everybody's question.
I lean yes, but I think it's close.
All right, if he's playing, I'm going to pick him.
Love it.
Okay.
We love it.
Keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
There really is a lot to be said about that head-to-head battle with Chucky.
I like those Louisville fans.
I do too. They were sweet.
very, very nice.
They said that Kentucky fans were.
They could have. I wanted them to be a little bit more. Talk a little bit more smack. Like, I know you're all down a little bit, but come on.
Optimistic about their chances.
I think Kenny Payne has ruined some spirits. So
very apathetic.
Yeah.
Very apathetic fan base, as we again talked about right before this. That when you have your head coach literally coming up to you and begging you to attend your game, I think there's a reason for that.
Yeah, but vibes are very high right now, I will say. So we've got, like I said, this is easily the best pregame situation we've had so far, and we're actually a little bit earlier than we normally are. So it's been a lot of fun. You want to fire us off here? Oh, we need to do. What's this?
I do have a good update that Lamont Butler is out for out for warm-ups. He was not.
The way you worded that was, he said Lamont Butler is out for workouts.
Not
like,
going
well, wait a minute.
to
so he's out there working out.
avoid
Okay,
this game.
That's good.
Lamont
That's good.
Butler plays.
Anything else, or should we do score predictions and MVPs?
Now that we can feel pretty confident about Lamont Butler playing,
okay.
I need a second to kind of collect myself and potentially really hit this one hard.
Okay.
I
think it's picking a 25-point win, it sounds like.
You give your take.
Well, we're going to – this is presented by our friends, Monticello Bank, these score predictions and MVPs. I think – I already forget my score prediction I put on K, so I'm pretty sure it was 81-71. I'm kind of sticking with that 10-point spread. I think both these teams like to play fast, but Louisville doesn't shoot very well. I think Kentucky will still kind of – hopefully, get to like that 33 or 34% three-point shooting mark. So I picked 81-71, Cats win. I'm going to go Andrew Carr MVP. I think they need to feed the beast today, get him at least 10, 12, 11 shots tonight, and he will have a good double-double for his third double-double of the season. And the Cats will roll by 10 points, and it will be one of those situations where they're up by 10 pretty much the entire second half, but can never really bust it out at the end. But Lamont playing does make me feel even a little bit better. You know what? I'm going to change it. 82-71.
Wow.
Cats cover. Yes, there you go. I don't bet, but I will say they cover.
I'm going to double down on that. I think my actual prediction was 89-73 anyway.
Okay.
So I feel
Sticking
even
with
better about that. A 16-point victory.
I like it.
I do have Lamont Butler as my MVP now.
There we go.
That he's warming up, feeling good.
Who would have been if he was out? Who would it have been?
Kirk Risa from the bench swinging his crutch around and gathering. Are you going to double down on your take that
He's getting a technical today. He's getting a technical today. I actually hope it happens early. Like, I want it to happen in the first 4 minutes and really rile up the crowd. I honestly hope that it happens because someone pushes Amari Williams down, and that's like, because that'll energize.
Can you imagine him
that'll energize Amari
onto the floor?
I can actually, yes,
and just hitting somebody with his crutch or something. That'd be the most.
It'll be a two birds thing. You'll wake up Amari Williams off the bat, and you'll have the entire Rupp Arena crowd going crazy. I think that'll spark the early success, and then they'll go from there. But yes, technicals are coming for Kirk Reese, and I hope it's early.
It would have been Jackson Robinson, I think, but because of our new update, I believe it's going to be Lamont Butler, and I think he's going to be jazzed. I think he's going to be ready when you punt on Gonzaga. You say, I'm going to get myself just a little bit more prepared, sit that one out, sit out Colgate.
The mighty toothpaste.
To specifically get ready for this one, you're going to get the best effort, best version of Lamont Butler, and I think it's going to result in a big-time victory, 16-point win. Cats are here. Crowd is unbelievable. We're going to get inside.
We're going to be full tonight.
We're going
to best crowd since when?
Oh gosh.
Well, there were games last year. that were big.
SEC games, the peak performance, but man, when we're talking non-conference, I don't think we've had a
It's like
crowd.
Kansas game that was here. When was that? 2 years ago. That one was pretty fun. That was maybe the most fun I've had covering a game was that one.
Yeah.
And they lost.
Hopefully
Yeah,
the
it was
vibes
close
are
at the end.
different on our way out. We'll be back again out here in our courtyard as we
The pavilion.
the pavilion, the courtyard. We'll be back to celebrate a big Kentucky victory. Mark Pope will go 1-0 in the head series with Louisville against Pat Kelsey. We'll see you on the other side.